Hello and Merry Christmas to all of our listeners. I'm Melanie Johnson and I'm here with Sally Edgington, AXREM CEO, Hugh Shurmer, AXREM's Chair, and Jeevan Gunaratnam, AXREM's Vice Chair. With this being our Christmas special, we wanted to make today's episode upbeat, festive and fun. A chance to reflect on an incredible year for AXREM and the wider medtech community. And to look ahead to what's coming in 2026. It's great to be back with you all. Sally, give me 3 words to describe AXREM 2025 and a few sentences to summarise AXREM 2025.
Gosh, you're putting me on the spot now. So 3 words to describe 2025 is unbelievable, productive, and fun. And a few sentences to describe 2025 is amazing growth, amazing engagement, really fabulous improvement in government engagement, and representative above any of my wildest dreams when I started at AXREM.
Oh, I love it. I love the positivity. Right, so Jeevan, Hugh, I'll go over to you next. So Jeevan, 3 words and a bit of any extra reflections you want to add.
Well, I'm going to channel a bit of Kirsty and Phil. And, you know, when they're doing their program, they always talk about location, location, location. And I'm going to say my 3 words are members, members, and members, because it's all been about our members. And the reflection, look, as Sally said, we've grown a lot, but the whole point of a trade association is not only to be a collective voice for our industry, but at this very challenging time for all of us, it's to be a kind of a conduit for, you know, good engagement with government, as Sally said, but also with the NHS and with hospitals and so on. So we represent so many different types of members, you know, whether it's radiology or patient monitoring or teleradiology. You know, there's all these different types of members, but there's also large international kind of global blue chips and, you know, startups, really innovative kind of technology companies, and we're all under the AXREM umbrella. So my reflection is it's been a brilliant year of growth, but it's also been a really good forum for us to represent the whole of our industry.
Yeah, amen to that. And last but not least, Hugh.
So I'll go for a very Christmassy word, present, but not for that definition. I think 2025, we've definitely arrived. We're present. We're in the moment. I think we are very relevant. So relevant is the second word. We are, as Jeevan said, we are representing our broad members, and I think the last one is trusted. And Sally and I have been to a number of meetings where a couple of years ago we would never have thought that large organizations would be coming to us asking us for advice and for our guidance. So I think trusted is another word. So present, relevant, and trusted.
Right, excellent. And we've got to shout about it because it has been an amazing year. So thank you to all you guys, obviously, for being part of that. So now, following on from last year's awards, we're going to run AXREM's unofficial awards again for 2025. So over to Hugh while you're on my screen. So top AXREM event of 2025. So which one and why?
It's got to be the Million Steps Challenge. I think that was a really good event. Got all the members together, and as Jeevan mentioned, there were small companies and really large companies. You got competitors shoulder to shoulder and up to their ankles in mud. We all walked different types, all in the same direction, which was really good, right? So I think that's very, very reflective of where we are in AXREM, is that all of our members pointing in the same direction. And then we all ended up back in that little pub and had a really good giggle there as well. And we won't discuss why we were giggling.
I do remember. We'll leave that for another day, shall we? And Sally.
So
top event.
My most memorable event is between 2. And it's between Bletchley Park and the Women's Network.
You've got to choose one. Top event. Come on.
Let's go for, only because I've been talking about it today as well, the Women's Network, the International Women's Day and the AXREM Women's Network event. So back earlier this year, we hosted an amazingly inspiring event at the Florence Nightingale Museum at St Thomas's Hospital, where we had over 60 women from across our industry, our stakeholders. Yes, we know you were there as well, Hugh. I was going to mention that. Uh, but it was literally one of my colleagues was in tears listening to some of the speeches and what the women were saying. And I think that says a lot about our community. And I think what's really nice about our community is it's not just members, it's external stakeholders. We had NHS, Department of Health, Baroness Meron sent a video message. To have Kath Halliday, the president of the RCR at the time, there as well, and Andrea Rockall. I mean, we had people that you really look up to, certainly I do. And I think what was amazing was we wanted there to be action. So the call to action from that event was that we set up a women's network. And I'm really pleased that we'll be launching that in March next year, which I'm sure we'll talk about at a different segment in this podcast. But yeah, I think that's definitely my standout. And I think as somebody that when I joined AXREM, I think on our exec committee there was only 1 or 2 women, and we are so much more representative, and we can see a lot more women in leadership roles more generally within our member companies and our partners and stakeholders. I feel even in the last 6 years we've come an awful long way. So I think it's fabulous, and we're becoming much more representative, and more diverse, which is fantastic too.
Great, thank you. And Jeevan?
Oh my goodness, there are so many. Whether it's Bob leading the way in Bletchley Park with the AI manifesto, the service SFG and the launch of their manifesto, the Future Leaders Council not only publishing the second, if I remember correctly, State of the Nation, but also winning silver in the Trade Association Awards, and I think a lot of the kudos for that, Mel, goes to you too, because it was your baby to start with, that one. So there are so many, but I'm going to be a bit traditional because Christmas is all about tradition, and I'm going to stick with UKIO because it was amazing. We had an amazing UKIO. Anybody that's listening or watching this, go and look at the photos of the AXREM team draped, exhausted over the UKIO sign. It was so busy. Nobody had any time. I think you all needed to go into a bit of recovery and recuperation afterwards. But also, what an amazing social event as well. Sally and the whole team, Hugh and everybody else, surpass themselves year on year. The event goes, it's the talk of the town in Liverpool. Everybody wants a ticket. So I think if I look at UKIO is going from strength to strength. I think we're very optimistic about UKIO 26 under the kind of the guiding eyes of Shah Islam, and I think what we are also hoping for is even more participation from industry in leading radiology events, an opportunity for AXREM members to really show what they can do, be part of the agenda, actually contribute to kind of the learning and the knowledge for everybody going forward. So yeah, for me, UKIO, big win.
Yeah, no, that's a great event, and for us it's lovely to see all of our members there together. Absolutely exhausting, but for all the right reasons. Absolutely. So thank you. Okay, so next award then is for most memorable moment of 2025. So let's go to Sally first.
Okay, so I think mine would have to be a 100-member milestone. Now, 6 years ago, when I started with AXREM and we had 16 member companies, never in my wildest dreams did I think we would be sitting here today with 104 member companies, and maybe by the time this goes out, even more. So I think we've seen unprecedented growth, especially over the last 2 years. And that growth is because of it being such a team effort. And I don't mean the staff team, I mean the staff team, the members, our stakeholders, our partners. You know, everybody is talking about AXREM. You know, it's amazing. I pinch myself on a daily basis and think, how did we get to where we've got to today? You know, and it's an accumulative effect over many years of hard work by everybody, and also talking about the right kind of things and offering the right kind of support to our members. And I was super proud when we were talking about the 100 member milestone. I was like, how can we leave a legacy for AXREM? So I came up with the idea of us planting 100 trees on NHS estates, and what an amazing legacy to leave, that we know that AXREM has been responsible for that. So I think that's definitely got to be my standout moment, and bring on the next 100 members.
I love that. Always looking to the future. Excellent. Hugh.
I think most memorable. I think Jeevan and Sally kind of mentioned them. I think that's the Bletchley Park. I really enjoyed that. I think that was good to show that we were current. The representation that we had from the Department of Health and Social Care, cyber security. There were a lot of people there all together. So I think my most memorable reassurance that AXREM is heading in the right direction there was that really well attended event in Bletchley.
Yeah, I agree. Super. And Jeevan.
Oh, well, I've got a couple, and so I'm just thinking about which one to go with. There's a personal one, so I'm going to do that very quickly. And the personal one was the Million Steps Challenge, because I tried so hard. and
You done
and
amazing. I actually was genuinely shocked.
I couldn't walk properly for several days afterwards. But actually, the memorable moment was actually, despite my best efforts, watching Irina Wade trump me at the very end and smash the top place, and that was because I really love her. So she's amazing. So you know, but to see her, a colleague and a friend, I would say. You know, coming through and winning that challenge was pretty cool. But honestly, I'm at a stage in my career where I've started to think about legacy, and about, you know, we as more experienced members of the industry need to think about the future, and are we leaving it in good hands, and you know, is there going to be continuation and innovation and growth? And as a result, I was thinking about the win, um, Jack picking up the prize on behalf of the Future Leaders Council for the recognition for their work, and I think it's gone from, you know, we have to, as a trade association, we have a real responsibility to make sure we're not only serving the needs of the current leadership of the industry, but also helping encourage that next generation to inherit and take on those responsibilities. And I think the work that AXREM has done to support that next generation of leaders has been brilliant. Every time I talk to them, they are inspired and inspiring, and you know, it makes me slightly emotional, you know, just thinking about what we're doing and how good it is, and thinking back to goodness, when I was at that stage of my career, I wish I'd had somebody flying the flag, you know, for us as well. So I think we do a brilliant job, super memorable, and made me really proud. And I insisted, rightly or wrongly, on having a photo with the prize and with you and Jack, you know, because I was so incredibly proud. So that's a super highlight of my year, and I'm going to stay excited for 2026 and what the Future Leaders Council are going to do even bigger and better.
Oh, no, that's lovely. And honestly, well done. You've done amazing in the Million Step Challenge. That was unbelievable. Every time I looked at it, it was like your numbers are going up, and I was thinking, how is he doing that? That's just
I was going to
amazing.
say, some people said to me, did Jeevan put his stepper on his dog or something? Because like the main steps
I said
going
that.
up, we were like, what is going on here? Like, Jeevan is like, I thought maybe you'd like taken obviously drunk about 10 bottles of Red Bull or something, because
Yeah,
fair play to you. I take my hat off.
yeah,
The other
absolutely.
thing about that event that was really good is that we were all watching the clock as we were walking back to the line, the kind of the finish line, and we hit that 1,000,000 steps just as we passed it. So that couldn't have been planned any better.
Yeah, no, that was a good moment, actually. Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, we literally could see the end line as we hit that 1,000,000 steps. Yeah, incredible. Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to the next award. So, funniest or most unexpected moment. So, Hugh, I'm going to start with you.
So mine isn't so much a funniest, but more unexpected, and it's going to have to be the Women in Industry event that we had in the Florence Nightingale. I was not expecting to feel so intimidated, guilty, apologetic.
How
I don't know.
were you intimidated,
It
you?
was only me and in a room of 70 women talking about women's achievements, and then having to do the closing speech. It was very, very awkward. But having said that, it was really good, and I thought the speeches you've already mentioned, Sal, from Dr. Kath Halliday, which I thought was really good to hear of how she got to where she was. And I also liked Seduce talk as well. I thought that was really quite inspiring. So that was one of my highlights of the year, actually. One of the most awkward moments for me for the year, but also one of the highlights. And I thoroughly enjoyed that.
Oh, brilliant. Love that. And you did amazing as well, Hugh. So well
Thank
done. Yeah. You didn't appear nervous.
So if
You really did.
okay, so I would probably say something now that I probably shouldn't say, but I did have a little giggle to myself that at the end of the event, when I was carrying all of the boards out, I was thinking to myself, "You call this equality?"
Oh, brilliant. Love it. Right, Sally, next to you. So, funniest or most
Right.
unexpected moment?
I actually can't think of anything, Mel. Can you think of anything? I suppose.
I'm hosting. You're answering.
Oh God, it's been a long week, a long year, a long everything. Probably then most unexpected. I just think where we've got to today, where we are now. I kind of feel, I was saying to someone the other day, I feel like with AXREM we are sort of growing, not just in terms of membership, but in our work and our representation and our visibility. And I feel at some point the bubble's got to burst, because we've had kind of 4 years solid of such positivity, and it does feel quite surreal. And we were talking earlier about imposter syndrome. I get that on a daily basis, like being asked to do things that I never would have thought my career would take me to. So I suppose that's probably my most, we've worked hard for it, and we do expect some of, or want some of what we are fortunate enough to have at AXREM and the engagement that we have. But actually, it just feels all sort of too good to be true sometimes. And I just actually did think of this kind of unexpected moment for me, probably more on a personal level, was I was recording a podcast with one of our members, Aidan from Alu, and I didn't realise that delving into my career would be so therapeutic. Like it, no word of a lie, I feel like it's changed my whole perspective on life having that one conversation, and
Oh,
I'm
wow.
more positive. I felt quite emotional. It's, as somebody that left school with no qualifications, I've not worked clinically, to find myself where I am today, I just feel incredibly lucky, and lucky to work with the staff team, our members. That's what keeps me here, is all of you guys. So I think that that's probably my most surreal moment of the whole year. It sounds really stupid, but I actually feel like it changed my life a little bit, just because you don't sit and talk about it, you don't think about it, you just, I'm so busy all the time, you just get on and do your job, don't you? And you don't, reflect. But having that reflection really makes me proud.
Oh, no, that's a lovely one. And it is really important to self-reflect, isn't it? So I'm glad you had that moment. And yeah, lovely. And Jeevan.
Funny and surprising moment. Well, actually, something that happened quite recently, and it's quite poignant for me. So, um, as I think all of you know, I've had a bit of a uh, challenging time personally at home with some aging parents who are facing some health challenges, and I think I'm probably not alone in that. There are many of us who will have similar experiences, and the problem is that sometimes that comes and raises its. There's a crescendo, and it kind of comes at the same time as you got some work pressures. And a long time ago, earlier in the year, well, so historically, AXREM signed a partnership with Convensis to support and be headline sponsor for a series of conferences, and I agreed earlier this year to chair one of those conferences, and that was actually just last week in Birmingham, the 13th NHS Radiology and Imaging Conference. And I thought, oh, I've been a chair. I've chaired lots of stuff in the past, so I'm juggling home life and healthcare, hospital appointments, and all that. Oh, it won't be too bad. I'll just rock up in the morning. I'll do a kind of an opening State of the Nation kind of address, and then I'll wrap up each session and then do a closing. And I had a chat with my good friend Hugh, and he said, no, Jeevan, it doesn't work like that. You run the whole thing. You stand on stage and you run every single panel discussion, fireside chat, do the Q&A, engage with the audience. You got to carry a tablet and, do the Slido questions and all that. He says, it's full on and you're going to be drained at the end of the day. And I went, it was one of those oh dear moments. I'm not really sure that I'm ready for this. And he said, "Oh, don't worry about it, Jeevan. If you've got real challenges with everything, I'll step in and I'll help out," which was brilliant because he'd done a brilliant job in the previous conference. And so I felt the love and the support from my colleagues, but actually it was really well organized, really well supported by Sally and Naomi. And Sally, I think there were 26 companies or so that were exhibitors there, about 150 attendees. It was such a good event and it was amazing. So it turned out all right on the night, but it was just the fun for me was just the gap between my expectation of what it was going to be and the reality. So sometimes my counsel to everybody is please read the brief more accurately than I do.
Oh, I love that one. Great. Right. So for the final award for 2025, so biggest learning, actually that's probably yours. Biggest learning, read the brief or takeaway for 2025. Should we go to Sally first?
Sorry, I muted myself. I was just trying to find the unmute button.
Okay.
I think for me, it would have to be, just to reiterate what I've probably already said, is when you go on a journey, you need to take your whole team on that journey with you. And I feel like AXREM is always going to be on a journey. I'm not somebody that wants to stand still and go, oh, we've got enough members, we've done enough, we'll just plod along. So and I think that our members especially have really embraced this journey, and having dedicated people like Hugh and Jeevan that give up a lot of their spare time and alongside their busy jobs helps us considerably. And we've got such a huge amount of members that are willing to give up their time, give us their expertise, give us their views and opinions. And that's why AXREM is such a great community, and we are a community. To think that you've got highly competitive companies all sitting in a room together, playing nicely, actually getting on. I would go as far to say that members would see themselves as friends. To build that type of community and to see that transformation over the last few years, and it is only possible because of us on here and the wider membership that are willing to embrace that, and do the right thing. And I think what's really important to reiterate here is it's all about the patient. We are all going to be patients. Our families are all patients. Jeevan was just speaking. Your family members are patients right now. And so for us all to feel like what we do indirectly or directly makes a difference to a patient's life. That's why I get out of bed every morning and, you know, work hard, because I know that we are making a difference.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Hugh?
I think my biggest learning or takeaway for 2025 is looking back now over the last 12 months. It's how we've changed us or changed to the external organizations from us. So how our profile has changed, how our status has changed, how us all pulling together has made us given us that greater visibility. How we've got organizations like the RCR, the SOR, other organizations, politicians coming to us, policymakers coming to us, asking us. We're being taken seriously. So I'd like to think that us all working together is now making us more visible and getting us that stronger status that we were talking about over 2 years ago. So yeah, that's my big. I feel like we've pretty much achieved it. And back those words that I made at the beginning. I think it certainly shows that we are relevant, trusted, and in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are we trendy? That's the question. Certainly, you're not looking very trendy at the moment as the Grinch.
And Mel, I've actually got one. If I can, it's actually
absolutely.
So I think some people will know that I spent a lot of my career in engineering. I was a service R&D and then a service engineer. And in May earlier this year, we had a service and operations manifesto launch that I attended. And Sally kindly asked me to say a few words. And it really took me back to those days, 18 odd years of my career working in service. And with your permission, I gave a speech, but there's one para right at the end that I'd like to repeat, because it is a really important thing, I think. And it was what I said to finish that launch was, I said, I'd like to raise a metaphorical toast to our service engineers. They are first in and the last out, often the only ones who know what's actually going on behind the scenes. And what I've always known is that whilst they don't wear a stethoscope, they also help save lives. And I think it's really important for us to make sure that we represent every part of our community. And that includes, we talk very much about radiographers, sonographers, radiologists, the medical physicists. And we should always remember that we employ many engineers who are unsung heroes and keep things running even in pretty tough times, and especially during COVID. So I'd just like to wrap up by saying that for me was a real kind of learning point, a really important point in the year for me, and a really important reflection.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like you say, you've got to remember everybody. And just my instant reflection, just listening to your responses to these awards, is just, how was it all possible? It's all just crazy when you think about it. It's just crazy how much everybody's achieved. And all I can just say is just thank you to each and every one of you for everything you've done as part of our community. Yeah, it's just, I have no other words really, because it is just overwhelming, if I'm honest.
But we also have to thank you guys as well, because you keep us all in check. And I know it's not harder than you think, than other people think.
Especially wearing an outfit like that.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to be semi-serious. It's really hard wearing what I'm wearing right now. Just for anyone listening, you might want to watch the video. I'm in Grinch today. So right, so just moving on then and looking ahead to 2026, I've just got a few questions around obviously what really we're looking forward to. So I'll go to, let's have a think, who should we go to? Right, Sally, we'll go to you first. Okay, so what are you most looking forward to in 2026?
I think just really for me, it's, you were saying about location. Mine's people. So mine is, my role has become much more out. So I'm definitely not at home very often. And it's meeting people and just building more connections. Being out there with the members more. I'm looking forward to more member visits next year, being in Parliament more, making sure that AXREM has a voice within government, able to shape policy. I'm really looking forward to some of the events next year that we partner with. So Jeevan mentioned UKIO. Next year, AXREM will be exhibiting at a lot of events. We want clinicians to understand why companies become members of AXREM, what our code of practice means, the fact that we have such good ethical companies within our membership. So looking forward to working with Convencies on their free radiology events in Manchester, London and Birmingham. We've really grown those events. The partnership is really strong, so I'm super excited to see what we can do with that and how we can shape the agenda. And yeah, UKIO, I think we're going to try and do something different. Obviously, I love our happy hour event, the social event that we have there. Next year it's going to be bigger and better. We've got a venue that takes 750 people. Whoever would have thought we could bring that many people together in one place for our industry? I mean, it's incredible. So yeah, mine's being more super networking, more people, members, stakeholders, partners.
Wonderful. And just actually on that then, can you just tell us a little bit more about any key events happening next year? Any key dates they should mark in their calendar?
I can, yeah. So there's a couple of we've got obviously lots of plans for events, and as everybody knows at AXREM, we're always very organised. So our members should have already received invites to all of our special focus group meetings for next year. The full diary for 2026 is set, and we're already starting work on those. But we are introducing 2 new events. So I'm really pleased to advise that on the 30th of April, Thursday, the 30th of April, we are launching a new event, our AXREM Members Lunch. That's going to be held at the De Vere Grand Connaught Rooms in Holborn, where we're expecting around about 200 people in attendance. We will be having a keynote speaker, and I've just had confirmation that we'll be having a minister from the Department of Health and Social Care, as well as other keynote speakers. And we will also be launching the AXREM Awards. So we want, I think industry are not very good at shouting how much they achieve and the amazing people that work within the member companies. So we're having 4 awards. We've got a Rising Star Award, Lifetime Achievement Award, a Sustainability Trailblazer Award, and Team of the Year. And we want this to become an annual prestigious event where members enter and are rightly recognised for the fabulous work that they do. And we've got an independent panel made up of the societies and colleges CEOs, so it's completely independent away from industry, that will judge those awards. We've got some fabulous sponsors lined up for the event. In fact, we've sold out on sponsorship for the event, so we'll obviously be announcing all that online. I won't go into loads of detail now, but that is going to be a fabulous networking event. And members say to us, I say to them, what do you want more of? We want more networking. We want to bring all of our community together, and it won't just be members. All of our key partners and stakeholders will also be present at that event. The second event that we are launching next year is we have a very successful external stakeholder meeting, which we have 3 per year. And historically, they've always been a virtual event, purely because of numbers. We have over 100 people on every meeting, and that's the most commercial meeting that we host, where we talk about funding, procurement and frameworks. Obviously, we talk about that in a competition law rules, parameters. But we are going to be turning one of those meetings into a conference, which we are hosting at the Royal Society of Medicine on Wednesday, the 14th of October. The title of the event is Imaging Tomorrow, Innovation, Insight and Impact. And I already have a number of speakers confirmed from Department of Health and Social Care, NHSE CDC team and Imaging Transformation team. We're going to have a really good panel, and I've probably got too many panel members, but you can never have too many, talking about AI in diagnostics. We've got the fabulous Richard Hickson from Healthcare Ocean. He's one of my favourite speakers because he's so inspirational and just gets an audience pumped up. And then we've also got NHS supply chain and NICE amongst others. So we're working on the programme at the moment, and obviously more details about that will come out. But it's going to, again, I'm expecting there to be between 200 and 300 attendees at the event, as well as VIP guests from across our partners and stakeholders. And yeah, I'm super excited to see what we can do with the agenda. I'm looking at my ideas at the moment. I think we could have made it a 2-day conference, and I'm going to try and squeeze it into one day. But again, we want that to become a flagship annual event where we can bring all of our members together and add some real value. And just to also say, whereas a lot of trade associations make money from these events, we don't. So we heavily subsidise those events. In fact, we pay over half of the fee that it's costing us to host per person. And we offer it a very modest fee, mainly because if someone pays something, it means that they're more likely to turn up, rather than us offering it free and then on the day it's easier not to come. So yeah, so that and what that means is that we can enable many of our members to attend at all different levels from the businesses. And like I say, we're not in it to make money. We're in it to make sure that we're offering our members the value and networking that they've asked for. And I'm just going to say, oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, and this, dear listeners or watchers, this is how Sally achieves world domination.
I've never thought of it like that, but now you've said it, maybe. And I was just going to say, and finally, the other event that I'm super excited about is the launch of our Women's Network, which we have got a fabulous MP, Samantha Niblett, who is the MP for South Derbyshire, sponsoring the event. That event is going to be on, and I've just lost my place on my piece of paper. So it's going to be on Wednesday, the 11th of March, in Parliament. Samantha set up Labour Women in Tech, and I would urge all the listeners, follow her on LinkedIn. She is so inspirational and really is a loud voice and advocate for women working in technology. And obviously there's a lot of women working in medtech.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that event. We may also have another fabulous speaker, but I can't say yet because it hasn't been confirmed. But we have got a very strong agenda for that. In fact, I was just saying when we were planning it today, if the agenda comes off, I think that this is going to elevate AXREM to whole new levels that we never thought was actually possible. So yeah, big plans for next year. And then I think, Mel, how can the equivalent of 4 full-time members of staff do all this work? No wonder we're all like overworked and, you know, needing our Christmas breaks.
It's all sounds to be silly, Sally. Absolutely. And just obviously just remind people that emails and socials will go out about the event, so please do look out for those and get your tickets booked as soon as you can. Right, so next question is for Jeevan. So what trends or challenges do you think will shape the next 12 months in imaging and healthcare technology?
Okay, so there's lots and lots going on. It's funny because I've just been talking about this quite recently. When we look at the rate of change of technology, especially things like AI type tools and how we're using them these days, they are changing the way we work at such a fast pace that I don't think we can just thinking what next year is going to look like or 12 months, you won't. None of us will. We have ideas about how things are going to transform, and I think actually we're in a really special place because technology is going to take us a heck of a long way. But what we need is adoption of the technology to allow us to travel that path. And that is a call to action to all of our friends in working, on the shop floor of healthcare, to somehow in these challenging times find the bandwidth to help with that adoption, to be the early adopters, to be the champions of technology, and it will transform. Because the truth is, we can't, as much as we want to, we cannot recruit our way out of some of the workforce challenges. There are, if you look at certain nations, there are going to be huge numbers of people retiring over the next few years, and there aren't enough people coming in. So technology has to somehow be part of the solution. And the reality is we are seeing demand globally increase by about 7% a year. So that's going to keep going. We're going to see more and more activity with perhaps the same number or fewer people being in the industry. And what is the answer? How are we going to manage that? It's going to be through productivity, efficiency. I think you'll see scanning technology accelerate very, very fast with AI. We'll be doing scans in minutes rather than hours. There'll be lots of use of AI to help triage and prioritize patients and their care, and potentially even be involved as part of a discharge pathway as well. So all of those things are going to be amazing. I don't know whether they'll all happen in the next 12 months, as you've asked, but they will happen. We only have to look at how technology has affected every other part of our life. I heard, was it yesterday, Ryanair saying that they are no longer accepting paper tickets. They'll only accept a ticket if it's on your device when you fly. And so that's just an example of how tech is going to change the way we interact with the world all over. So yeah, lots and lots is going to happen. It's there's going to be wearables that you'll wear to clinically validated wearables that will allow you to control your own patient journey. So very exciting times, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Mel,
absolutely.
can I just
Yes.
cover off just a couple of the challenges that I think that we need to, highlight, and some of the things that we'll be looking out for on behalf of our members?
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think that there's been persistent underinvestment in capital replacement, which is leaving many imaging departments reliant on outdated equipment, with many systems exceeding their recommended lifespans, some by over a decade, which I've heard some of my members say, there's equipment where rooms are actually being closed down for the first time they've seen in their careers. So obviously, we want to see the investment that we hear is coming through actually coming through. But that doesn't only affect the diagnostic accuracy, but also it limits the adoption of AI-enabled and hybrid imaging technologies. So I think that obviously there's consideration. It's not just running the old machines, but it's actually you can't implement the new technology as well. I also think data governance and AI regulation. I think as AI is becoming more embedded, there's obviously questions around data privacy, bias, regulatory oversight. So I think transparent frameworks and ethical deployment is obviously critical, and our members are all, obviously supportive of that. I think as well, equity and access and innovation. So ensuring that technology advances benefit all communities. And obviously we're partners to the Equity Charter. So we need to make sure that, we're defining all these challenges, and we include addressing digital divides and infrastructural gaps. So I think there's some challenges there. And then one of the biggest ones, and I know patient monitoring talk about this a lot as well, is interoperability and integration. So we want seamless data exchange between imaging systems or any medtech systems. And obviously within a hospital, you think of a computer as a screen and a keyboard. It's not. All medtech, or most medtech, integrates and connects to an IT system. So we really need to see progress here to unlocking the full potential of all of the connected care. So I'm conscious of time, but I just think there's some of the key challenges that I will be looking out for and flying the flag on behalf of the AXREM members.
And
Very
the
well
thing we
said,
need to
Sally.
the thing we need to push as well, really, is when you're looking at the street and shifts, especially the ones from treatment to prevention to treatment to prevention, is that prevention area is exactly where our members are, aren't they? It's not, well, with the exception of radiotherapy, but most of our members are on that prevention side. So we'd like to think that there are going to be some more doors opening up, and I guess there's a question out there to any of the politicians that what is out there to put the money where the mouth is in that shift.
And I completely agree. And I think what all these comments also underpin is technology doesn't mean anything without it operating in a safe environment. And one of the things we all champion is cybersecurity.
Yeah.
And so that is kind of at the heart of any healthcare system trying to implement and deliver technology, is knowing that it's safe and secure. So again, as Sally said, if you don't replace kit, you can't always ensure that it is the latest up-to-date cyber-secure type technology. So yeah, I'm completely agree with Sally's comments and Hugh's.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hugh, I've got a question for you. Is there a particular project, collaboration or goal that you're personally excited about for the year ahead?
Excited, and what is the year ahead? Only the 10-year plan. I've still got this niggle in my tummy about the 10-year plan. It's on everything, and if you think about it, we won 20th of the way into it already. There's a lot that we're going to see that's going to have to come to fruition in the next year that's going to either support or not support the 10-year plan. So I'm very excited to see what happens with it, because a Hugh Shurmer opinion here is not I'm an operational manager at heart, and I don't see much planning in the 10-year plan. I see it as a goal or an ideal, a destination rather than a journey. I'd really like to see what substance is going to come from that 10-year plan that everybody's talking about. Yeah. And that was deep in Ebenezer Scrooge and the bar humbug, I'm afraid.
You finally get rid of me next year, so that's a lifelong achievement for you.
Well, we don't really get rid of you. You just metamorphosize into another beast.
I'm not vice chair anymore, so you got freedom finally.
Yeah, so I am looking forward. I'm looking forward to the team expanding. Of course, we got wonderful Bob Child coming in as vice chair, but Jeevan, you're not going far.
Right. Jeevan, you're not allowed to leave anything, so you're still going to be a AXREM. That's fine. Right, okay, so we're going to have a little bit of a twist up now. We're going to go on to the Christmas quickfire, and this will tell us a lot about you all. So I'm just going to do it in order. So Sally first. So favourite Christmas film?
2 words, The Holiday.
Good one. Hugh? Same question.
What was that, sorry?
Favourite Christmas film?
Polar Express, just because the kids love it and they play it all year.
Okay, and Jeevan?
Oh, it's got to be a Bond movie. Anything Bond.
Oh, good call.
For Christmas, it's not overly Christmas.
Bond movie at Christmas.
Oh, that tells me a lot
Die
about
Hard,
you.
but it's not really, is it?
Well, so it's probably the only time of year we actually get the time to watch a film, to be fair. Yeah. So all films accepted.
Yeah. Okay, favourite Christmas song, Sally?
Mine's a modern one. I love Merry Christmas by Ed Sheeran and Elton John, and I'm not going to sing it because I've got the worst voice ever.
Hugh?
My wife and I have arguments over when Christmas starts, and it's when we hear the first song. She says it's Mariah Carey. I say it's Fairy Tale of New York. So I'm going for the Pogues' Fairy Tale of New York.
Oh,
good shout.
You stole mine.
I'm gonna say that's probably mine as well, actually. So Jeevan, that's your favourite, is it?
Yeah, that's my favourite. But I also like. I like Mariah. So yeah.
Yeah, I could just imagine you singing along to it.
All I want for Christmas is you, Jeevan.
Yeah. Right. So Christmas dinner, traditional turkey or something different, Sally?
Turkey, of course. I'm Mrs. Christmas mad. It has to be turkey, all the trimmings. And now my kids have taught me into also cooking beef, ham, you name it, we have it.
Yeah. That sounds like a good Christmas dinner. All of the above. Hugh?
I'm old and I'm forgetful. I go to a number of dinners, so I always go for turkey because it's just easier for me to remember when in the Christmas season. So it's always turkey, without a doubt.
Okay. Jeevan?
Oh, and just to be different, my family hate turkey, so we never have turkey at Christmas. So I've got a big family, and so I will usually do roast beef, roast lamb, roast pork, and a couple of chickens. And then what I also do is, my dad's a vegetarian, so I have to do something vegetarian for him, and he's always disappointed. So
try harder, Jeevan.
We always have roast duck. We always have roast duck on Christmas Eve, so we can use the fat for the potatoes on Christmas Day.
Ah, very clever.
Very good.
Very good. Okay, so just the final thing then. Okay, so Sally, I'll go to you first. So what message would you like to share with the AXREM community and the wider medtech family this festive season?
So I thought I would get a bit arty. So this is my Christmas message. As snowflakes fall and You've put me off now, Hugh. Right, here goes. As snowflakes fall and lights shine bright, we pause to honour hearts alight. The medtech minds, the teams who care, who innovate and always share. From radiographers' radiant skill to partners driving change with will, you've made this year a beacon true of progress, pride and breakthroughs too. With championed voices raised the bar, built bridges near and stretched afar. With every step your passion shows, in every scan each path you chose. So here's to rest, to joy, to cheer, to all we've done this brilliant year. May 2026 bring hope anew and more bold dreams for us to pursue. With gratitude and festive glee from AXREM and the very proud CEO me.
Oh,
well done.
right, guys, you've got to try and beat that then. So,
That.
good luck with that one. Oh, Hugh, is that a guitar? I see.
No chance.
Go on then, Hugh. You tell us your Christmas message.
I think we've done a good job of reflecting on 2025. I think we're in a good place. I think 2026 is going to be under pressure, particularly for the NHS, and reflected down to some of our members. But I think AXREM, we're in a good place. We've got good profile. We are trusted. So I think it's keep patients first and foremost as we keep on our strategy. Look after each other. We are a member community, so we'll need to look after each other, and let's nail 2026.
Can I just say about your trust bit? When I look at the screen, I think, will people trust us? Look at the state of us.
We are trustworthy people.
Says the Grinch who stole Christmas.
Right, Jeevan, we'll end on you.
Thank you. So I've been spending a lot of time with my parents in lots of different hospitals, and including radiology departments. And we've just actually very recently marked World Radiography Day, and how important imaging, therapy, patient monitoring, all the sectors we represent are critical to patient pathways. And so my Christmas message is about the fact that whilst many of us will be at home surrounded by our loved ones, having turkey or not, there will be a number of us who will be working in hospital, providing the care that is so vital to so many of our community. And so my Christmas message is, you are unsung heroes. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you do to make sure that we can all live in a safe and happy society. And we will be thinking of you on Christmas Day as we celebrate.
Absolutely. Okay, so we hope this podcast has left you feeling well informed, festive and optimistic for the year ahead. A big thank you to Sally, Hugh and Jeevan for being such great sports today, and for all the hard work, leadership and energy you've brought to AXREM throughout 2025. And of course, a huge thank you to all of our listeners for your continued support. We really do appreciate it. Wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.